Hello friends, Lindsay, Fly Girl VSG coming into you with my week 105 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update. I also am going to do a bit of a themed video today, kind of in the vein as my 2-year surgiversary was last week and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'll just start with the numbers again, even though I did that yesterday too. Day of surgery, or 2 week to pre-op tie at 301.2, day of surgery 291.8. Last week I was at 202. This week I'm at 200.6. So 200.6 is like the magic number for sure. It really likes to be there right now, my body. But that is a 1.4 pound loss for this week. So, you know, that's good. I'll take it. I'm going to readjust here. My lighting is not great. That's okay. It's actually not that bad. I've got, you know, all my regrowth is coming in as devil horns. It's great. So I don't have much to say today that I didn't already say yesterday in terms of my update. But I asked for some ideas on my subscriber giveaway, which, by the way, if you haven't entered and are subscribed, now would be a good time. God, I'm really uncomfortable. Sorry. Now would be a good time to enter because the contest or the entry limits, I keep losing my place on my YouTube, will be expiring tonight. So, oh my God, that creeper who wants me to yawn in all my videos is, well, I blocked him because that's really creepy, but there you go. There's your yawn. Hope you like all my fillings. Okay, so VSG Hopeful entered my giveaway, and she is having surgery in 9 days. She wants me to make a video of all the do's and don'ts if I had it to do over, which I've thought about this today long and hard. Well, not super long and super hard, but moderately I've given it some thought. And I really can't do that, but I will do the best I can in talking about some things. But she asks some specific questions, and I think that they're actually pretty good questions. And I'm just not one person. This is just my story and my experience. So I'm not really sure how helpful this is. But hold on, sorry. Work calls. But no, I don't want to go on. Okay. Sorry. So let me just answer some of her questions. I mean, she wants me to provide, it's a good topic idea, the do's and don'ts of surgery, and I'm going to wing it. I didn't make notes on this. Just, you know, and we've all kind of said some of the same things over the course of our videos, and I think I've talked about a lot of this already, but, you know, for people who are not binge watching my 2 years of videos, I don't blame you. But I'm going to start out with the early, Tessa Teams is calling me. Sorry, Tessa. I'm making a video right now. I'll have to get back to her. Okay. So, sorry, Tess. I'll call you in like 10 minutes. So, her question is, before I do the kind of basic do's and don'ts, I'm going to answer these specific because these are early on questions I think that are relevant for her specifically where she's at. Was there anything I would have done differently in the first 4 weeks to have lost more weight? And then she wants me to talk about vitamins, pain reliever, foods, liquids, hair loss, vitamins, and most importantly, was there any part of my journey that I was not prepared for? So I'll talk about that in a second. But in terms of weeks 1 through 4, VSG Hopeful, I have to tell you, follow the doctor's rules. There's really, I'm going to be frank, for my opinion personally, based on my recovery and some of the recovery of my closest friends that have had VSG surgery, there is nothing you can do to maximize weight loss. Your body will drop the weight. I will second what Lauren Losing said last night on the Bariatric Diva show, which is prioritize water over protein, not the other way around. So recovery is hard enough. Your body has just gone through a huge, major surgery. This is not a little deal. This is a big deal. Sleeve, Roux-en-Y, duodenal switch, all those things, even the lap band, big deal, big surgery, more so with the other ones than the lap band because you're actually removing and changing parts of your anatomy. But big surgeries, you know, and so, also it's very common to stall right away. You'll probably drop the first couple weeks and then you'll spend a couple weeks not losing. Do not freak out. It is super, super totally normal, totally expected. I expected it, so I did not freak out when it happened to me. I think I stalled at week 3 or 4 for 2 weeks and then fell again and stalled again, like, you know, a couple months. And sometimes those stalls happen every couple weeks. Your body's adjusting. When you're first out of surgery, like, you're getting a couple hundred calories a day. You are barely getting any nutrition. So your body's going to adjust, and it's going to go through phases where it's going to hold on to everything that it can. Let it. Do not force it. Do not eat less. Eat as much as you can. I mean, or get in as much as you can. It's going to help. So in terms of week 1 through 4, my advice for you is to just be patient and recover. Weight loss will happen whether you're doing it or not. Does that make sense? So try to take care of yourself. Rest. Walk. Get in as much water as you can first and foremost. Prioritize water over protein for sure. I had to go back into the hospital for dehydration. So that is my advice, is to make sure that you're staying hydrated. Make sure to at least get, you know, a liter of water in a day. That's 32 ounces or maybe a half a liter. I don't know if that's a reasonable expectation to get a whole liter in. But, you know, if you're getting 16 to 24 ounces of water in a day, basically 1 or 2 of these a day, you should be fine. It's going to be difficult. Make sure to stay in touch with your nurse practitioner or your surgeon's office if you have any problems. For me, I had a lot of spasms, so I was retching and throwing up a lot, even though I wasn't able to. And my story, from what I understand, is pretty rare. Most people don't have these complications, but I needed to get in on, and I need to go back into the hospital for fluids, and I had to get on an anti-nausea medication. No, not an anti-nausea. I was already on an anti-nausea, an anti-spasm medication. To help prevent my stomach from, you know, kind of doing that spasm every time I would eat or drink something, or drink water or protein. I lived off of Siggy's yogurt once my liquid diet was over. I basically had pho broth and Ensure, and that's really all I could drink for the first 2 or 3 weeks. Jello, popsicles, a little bit. My stomach was very sensitive to cold. So experiment. Every body is different. Some people can eat an entire package of popsicles and have no problem. I could eat half of a popsicle because the cold was too hard on it. The broth had to be lukewarm. I didn't like the heat at first. I couldn't do the Premier protein shakes. It was too thick. You know, so trying to, or, you know, getting, if that's what you're going to get, water it down. Thin is better than thick, I think, starting out. Get on some Greek yogurt as soon as you are able to do, like, pureed. I think yogurt was part of my full liquid, so I had no problems with that. I can only have a bite at a time, though. So in terms of what you can do is just follow doctor's orders. Prioritize water before it's protein, though. That's the only thing, is that most doctors don't say that. They say get in your protein, get in your protein, get in your protein. In the first few months out of surgery, you really need to get in your water and then get in your protein. The protein will come. There's nothing you can do about hair loss. I am sorry. There's nothing you can do. It's going to happen. Whether it's going to happen at 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, mine happened closer to a year out. Like, I was like, nah, I'm not going to have any problems with this. Look at me. I'm 6-9 months out. I haven't lost any hair. And then almost as soon as I hit the year mark, it just started coming out in clumps. And it lasted, 5 months. And then it started to grow back. So mine was right around month 10, I guess. And it lasted until I was about 14, 16 months out. I took biotin well before surgery, like 2 months before surgery. And I took biotin for the first year and a half. I didn't notice that really helped me. Maybe it did, because I obviously don't have anything to compare it to. You're not going to be able to take biotin unless it's liquid or chewable the first 2 weeks. Don't bother trying to take pills or vitamins in any way. Make sure that everything you're taking the first couple weeks, especially, maybe even the first 2 months, is chewable. Not chewable like gummies. Don't do the gummies, but like chewable, dissolvable liquid. But there's nothing you can really do the first 4 weeks, but take care of yourself and heal. That's it. And don't eat shit. I mean, I know people who in the first 4 weeks ate shit. Don't do it. Just don't. There's no point in it. Follow doctor's orders. Get water. Heal. Take care of yourself and rest. It's a huge surgery. You just underwent a major ordeal. Let your body adjust. Don't be upset. That's honestly, like, not to be firm and mean, but you're going to stall. You may even have a week where you gain. Don't weigh yourself when you get home from the hospital. You're full of fluids. Don't do it. If you're going to be subjective to being emotional over what the scale says, don't do it. You pick one day a week to weigh yourself. One day. My day is Thursday, today. I had surgery on Thursday, so I weighed myself the following Thursday, the following Thursday, the following Thursday. I sometimes weigh on Mondays as well, but I never use that as like a, I'm not really that emotionally attached to the scale. Unless it's like obviously a pattern. That's an issue, but. So, in terms of pain relievers, my doctor put me on Vicodin, and they were I was like, they were pills. I was like, are you kidding me? It took like 5 or 6 days before I got finally a liquid prescription. So, I had huge pills, and I had to crush them up, and by the way, that sucks. So, make sure that your doctor or your surgeon or whoever is providing you pain medication gives it to you in liquid form. Also, make sure to set your phone alarm and take it every 4 hours. Whether you're in pain or not, take it every 4 hours on the dot for as long as at least the first, for me, I was on pain medications for 2 weeks, but, or at least 10 days. But I had a difficult recovery. Most people are on pain medication, I think, 3 to 6 days. But, definitely for the first 3 or 4 days, take your pain medication every 4 hours, and then you can start to taper off and see how you feel. But it's going to take that long for that gas pain from your incisions, soreness, achiness if there's an ulcer. I had a lot of pain up here in my esophagus from the intubator, so I needed it. Yeah, and the anti-nausea is usually dissolvable that they'll give you. So just make sure that if they're giving you a Vicodin or Oxycodone or anything like that, like if they're giving you pain medication, that it is in liquid form, because you're going to be able to take that. You're not going to be able to swallow a horse pill. Some people don't have problems. Most people can't. And your stomach is also swollen. So just think of it that way too. Like, it's really difficult to swallow a horse pill for most of us, but even if you cut it up, your stomach is swollen. It's going to have it. You're not on solid foods. Why would you put something solid in? I don't understand why doctors do this. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm very opinionated about it. Let's see. What were your other questions? So, in terms of, and I'll have another vitamin video another time, because that's an easy question. But in terms of just immediately post-op, you want to make sure you follow your surgeon's instructions. They're going to have specific instructions for you. But I think mostly the rule of thumb is you want a multivitamin. And for VSG, you want vitamin B12. And, it's generally good health for most people to take a vitamin D supplement, especially in the winter. I take 2,000 IUs every other day. So usually 1,000 or 500 IUs every day is going to be fine. If you can get that in a chewable, that's fine. Otherwise, just wait until you're on solid foods and you can swallow pills again, and you'll be able to take a vitamin D. I think vitamin D is always really good. It's good for you in lots of different ways. So I think basically it's multivitamin. You want to take your, they'll give you heartburn medication that they'll want you to be on for 6 months. And some doctors give you a gallbladder medication that they want you to take for a year. I did all of that. I followed all of that to the T. So just do what they tell you to do. If they don't tell you to do much, ask questions, ask the community, ask me, ask whoever, or follow up with a different surgeon's office, frankly. But your surgeon most people have good surgeons, and they'll give you all the information that you need, and everybody's slightly different. But, okay, so in terms of basic, I think that was, my phone, hold on, I have to look it up. I think that was mostly it, that you wanted me to talk about in terms of, the first few weeks. If there was one thing that I wasn't expecting that happened, is that I didn't expect, the hormonal effects to be as difficult. Let's see here. So yeah, you were saying that you lose more weight in the beginning. If that's not too realistic, that's good to know. It isn't realistic. I think, to be honest, again, you're going to stall. Some people lose 30 pounds the first month. Some people lose 10. Some people lose 5. or no, most people lose more than 5, but like every body is different, and there's not, don't eat less. Don't, I think some people who have a diet mentality, I am one of them, thinks that if you eat less, everything will go better and go faster. This is not about speed. You are not in a race. You were not in it. You were in it to win it, but you were in it for the long haul. This is not about that first 4 weeks. The first 4 weeks are almost entirely useless because you're healing, because your stomach is healing. Let yourself do that. Okay, I've said that like 60 times, so I'll stop. Pain reliever, talked about foods. What I was on, when I went into mushies, I did like cheesy cauliflower, yogurt, egg salad, tuna salad, and this is the pureed foods. Tuna salad in the blender, egg salad in the blender. What else did I do? Refried beans. I would go out to dinner and have refried beans. That was really exciting with cheese. Those were kind of my staples, and eggs, like scrambled eggs. Hair loss, nothing you can do about that. If your hair loss gets really, really bad, like your hair's already thin and it thins out, I would talk to VSG Tanya 2011. She had she used a product of some sort that was like a hairspray that kind of helped, but I didn't have to do that. I had a ton of hair, so when I lost it, it was notably thinner, but it wasn't like I had patches or anything. Let's see here. What part of the journey were you not prepared for? If so, what wasn't? How would you do that differently? Okay, so there's nothing I would have done differently. I think I did everything as well as I could have. The thing that I wasn't as prepared for was the emotional part of it. One can anticipate the hormonal effects or the emotional part or the that part of the journey. Oh, hey, James Haney, by the way, if you're on, it's the 15-minute mark. If you need to pause this and get a snack, now's the good time. Okay? Thanks. Okay. You gave me some shit about my long video yesterday. Where was I? Yeah, like, your hormones are most everyone knows this. I actually didn't know this until just before surgery, but your hormones are stored in your fat cells. As you're losing weight rapidly, those hormones are released into your bloodstream and processed. It takes a long time for that to happen. So even though you're dumping weight rapidly, those hormones are all floating around in your system, and your body's like, ah! So people get crazy in different ways, right? My crazy was I was very irritable. I had a sense of disbelief most of my first year, I would say, of like, what is happening? I don't understand what's going on. And I really didn't like my partner most of that year. But I also heard advice to not make any major life decisions that first year, and I didn't. I didn't change relationships. I didn't change jobs. I didn't really change, make or lose any friends. I mean, I made friends, but like, I was terrified of what was real and what wasn't, so I just stayed still, if that makes sense. Like, I just held still. And that would be my advice, is like, obviously, if some, like, let's say your marriage is untenable or already has difficulties and it becomes untenable during your first year, like, I would never encourage somebody to stay in a relationship that is abusive or manipulative or any of those things. But if it's just like, yeah, we were having a rocky road and now he's irritating more than normal, like, give it a minute, like, really, truly give it a year. That's my advice to you. It worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. You have to do you. At the end of the day, you have to do you. But know that those hormones and your raging in your system do fucking make you crazy. And my best advice, and this is what I did, was just to hold still. Accept that it's going to happen. Some days are going to be harder. Some days are going to be easier. And ride the wave. Don't make any crazy life decisions. Chill out. Take a breath. Ride it. That's my advice. Do's and don'ts. In terms of new post-ops, again, I think that Lauren Losing covered this last night on Bariatric Divas, so I'm going to kind of echo that. And these are my do's and don'ts too, but if I had it to do differently, and not all of these things are things I did poorly, but do follow your surgeon's instructions on everything, especially nutrition, especially for the first year if you want to maximize weight loss. Protein first, vegetables and fruit next, Carbs should be last, if at all. I don't really believe in a low carb diet, but definitely watch the kinds of carbs that you're eating. You should be focusing on a whole foods diet. You should not be focusing on processed foods. Try to limit any fast food. Try to limit anything out of a box. Anything, a lot of things are like, ooh, super high in protein, low fat. That's not always good for you. I mean, I saw something online today. Anyway, I don't want to sound judgmental or critical, so I'm not going to mention what it was actually, but, because I don't want to offend the person that posted it. But there are, just try to get your protein from whole food sources. Try to have your carbs be from whole food sources, quinoa, brown rice, even whole wheat, sprouted bread, things like that over time. Sweet potatoes are a good option, and also a really good thing to have during pureed. That's all fine. So, some people are all low carb, but, I'm a big exerciser, and so low carb isn't really reasonable for me. But I also try to limit my processed carbs and processed sugars and things like that. So do follow your surgeon's instructions. Do get protein first, with the exception of water. Water is the most important thing. As you're able to eat and drink more, try to get in 2 to 4 liters of water a day. I am 2 years out. It probably took me 9 months to be able to get in a gallon of water. So there's no excuse. You should be able to do it. Follow your surgeon's instructions in terms of eating and drinking at the same time, whatever they are. Everyone's different. Mine was 5 minutes before, 20 minutes after. I usually do 3 minutes before and 30 minutes after. So follow your surgeon's instructions. Everyone has different instructions. Do move your body on purpose. But respect your limits. If it were me, I would advise to don't, on a don't list. Try to avoid alcohol for as long as you can. I really respected the people who took a year, and I felt that those people who did that really maximized their weight loss. Not to say that people who do drink or did drink, myself included, didn't lose a good amount of weight, but I feel like I actually probably would have gotten to goal had I not done that. And I haven't, and I didn't, and I hopefully will, but we'll see. So try to hold off on that. Life happens, and drinking is fun. But it's not the end all be all, and what's a year, right, in the big scheme of things. So if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely take wait longer. I waited about 3-ish, 4 months to have my first couple drinks. And also make sure that the first time you do drink, especially the first couple times, maybe you're drinking at home in a safe place, because you don't know how it's going to affect you. Every kind of alcohol is different. For me now, vodka is different than wine, is different than red wine, is different than beer. So just, you want to be able to experiment with that as you do it, and be in a safe place where you don't have to worry about a ton of other people, or embarrassing yourself, or being sick, or driving. Instead of other things on a don't list, I mean, you're going to learn your limits. You're going to learn how much is too much. You're going to have some negative side effects, whether it's going to be, oh, I really want these M&Ms, and you're going to dump, or I really want this, and I want 3 more bites, and then you're going to throw up. I mean, some people don't throw up, some people don't dump, some people, every body is different, but you'll learn your limits. And on the do list is do respect them. As you learn them, as you start to experiment with what those limits are and where those boundaries lie, try not to go past them. Try to, as you get further and further out, to respect what those limits are, and not get yourself to the point of having to re-experience those negative consequences over and over again. Those are my major do's and don'ts. Again, I did not write notes, so I didn't, I'm kind of winging it here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do take your vitamins. Do consistently try to increase your calories. I mean, I would say that at a year out, you should be at about 1,000 calories. And then as you get into your second year, closer to 1,200, especially if you're exercising. I would start getting into an exercise routine as soon as possible. Make that part of your life, part of a habit that's important. Also build muscle. When I say exercise, I don't mean go for a walk. Those are all great things, but you need to build muscle. Building muscle will help you lose fat, will help you lose weight, help your body composition, help you feel good about yourself. I'm a big weightlifting fan. Do's and don'ts. I think that, God, there's so many other things, but in terms of like things that you need to worry about right away, I think like in your first year or whatever, first 6 months, I think those are my biggest advice. I'm sorry. It's dark here. So, anyway. I hope that helps. And I really hope that you'll comment back again in a couple of weeks and let me know how you're doing. I wish you the best of luck with surgery. I'm excited for you, and I'll see you on the loser's bench in what, like 9 or 10 days, right? So I hope that answers your question. I'm sure a lot of people out there are not newbies that are watching me and they're like, yeah, shut up. But hopefully I helped you. And then I will talk in the upcoming weeks about vitamins, and I'll try. Wish I'd remembered to have done a recipe video last night, because I made some killer baked tilapia fish and chips. So maybe next time I make cod, because we're not eating tilapia anymore. But next time I make them, I'll make it. Next time I make it with cod, I'll do the recipe video, and then I'll talk about wedding planning. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but I can give you that too. Give you an update on that on my next update video. So anyway, this is my third video this week, and I'm also going into 26 minutes. So I'm going to go, and I hope you guys keep it fly out there, and I will talk to you next Thursday. Bye.